Alright, first sanding. Now let me tell you, when I told you this was a learning experience, this was a learning experience. Okay, when I started sanding off the stuff, it's with the steel wool, areas where it was higher in thickness of the tung oil than others, it started to peel. Kind of like almost like a rubber. So that kind of freaked me out a little bit, but I just endeavored and I kept on going, and I took off all kind of the high level areas of where the stuff was, and now it doesn't look like there's anything on it, but there is. I mean, it feels really nice now. It feels sealed. You know what I'm saying? But I got all that gloss that was off there is gone, but it's got it like really nice and slick now, where it feels like a cutting board almost. Where a cutting board has that like oil finish to it on the such. I'm gonna still go over it with a couple more coats of it and do it that way, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. It's a learning experience. I'm going to put another coat on it, real thin, let it dry, lightly scuff it, make sure it's completely dry, because I think those areas where it was too high, it was not cured all the way in those certain areas, because it felt dry and it felt really, really good, but it was like deep down under a couple layers where there was like drip marks and such like that. Those drips weren't dry, so those kind of peeled on that. So, but that was kind of a good thing that happened that way, because I was able to get those drip areas off. And like that area right there was a big drip area right there. And where it really surprised me was on the butt down here. I guess when I had painted this hanging, all this oil would run down and just kind of came down to the bottom edge here. Now, it wasn't that it had any drip marks or anything there, but what it does, all gravity just took over, and just all the thickness of the finish was all on the bottom edge of the bout there. And when I went to sand it, it was like a melted rubber band, just about. So, it's a learning experience. So, and I panicked at first. It was scary, but then I just muddled through and followed instructions and sand it down. It doesn't look like there's anything on it, but there definitely is. You can feel it, and it feels like a cutting board. It's real smooth. It's real, yeah, like a cutting board. Like when they season up here, you can see the difference. If you look, I got one small little coat. I didn't really sand the pocket or inside of the bouts, or inside of the socket, so you can see the sheen difference there. But I think now the other layers are going to lay a lot better. So lesson learned. If you're going to do this, put a coat on it, let it completely dry, and then buff it out a little bit with some steel wool or the 220 sandpaper. I used 400 just so I can get it smoother. And if it starts to gum on you, like gum up on you, basically what I did is I just followed through and went and took it down, because those gummy areas were where it was too thick and high anyways. So yeah, it's coming along. It's unusually unexpected, and things happen that you don't know what to expect, and just have a little faith in yourself and do it. Yeah, it was scary when that stuff started gumming up. I started freaking a little bit, but it turned out. Got it down to looks like a nice cutting board, and gonna go back with some other layers on it and see if we can get a little more of a gloss finish to it, and a little smoother and a little nicer. As always, thank you for following. Bye.